In 1890, a tragic event known as the Wounded Knee Massacre took place. It was a dark chapter in American history. The incident occurred in South Dakota during a time of tension between Native American tribes and the United States government. The U.S. Army confronted a group of Lakota Sioux who were performing the ghost dance, a spiritual ritual believed to bring back their way of life and drive away the settlers. The encounter quickly escalated into violence, resulting in the deaths of approximately 150 Native Americans, including women and children. The horrific event marked the end of armed conflicts between Native Americans and the U.S. government and served as a somber reminder of the injustices and hardships endured by indigenous people. In 1891, an iconic sport was born when James Naismith, a Canadian physical education instructor, invented basketball. Seeking a game that could be played indoors during the winter, Naismith devised a set of rules and nailed a peach basket to the elevated track at the Springfield, Massachusetts YMCA. The objective was simple: to throw the soccer ball into the opposing team's basket. As the game gained popularity, modifications were made, such as replacing the basket with a net and introducing dribbling and other techniques. Naismith's creation became a global sensation, captivating millions of players and fans, and basketball has since evolved into one of the most beloved and widely played sports around the world. The year 1892 marked a significant milestone in the world of electricity with the founding of the General Electric Company. This conglomerate emerged from the merger of two prominent electric companies, Thomas Edison's Edison General Electric Company and the Thomas Houston Electric Company. The union of these two entities resulted in the formation of General Electric, a powerhouse in the field of electrical engineering and innovation. Throughout its history, General Electric has been at the forefront of technological advancements, playing a pivotal role in developing and manufacturing electrical appliances, power systems, and numerous other groundbreaking technologies that have shaped the modern world. In 1893, Grover Cleveland assumed office as the 24th President of the United States. It was his second non-consecutive term, making him the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms in U.S. history. Cleveland's presidency was marked by significant challenges, including the Panic of 1893, a severe economic depression that led to widespread unemployment and financial instability. Despite these difficulties, Cleveland pursued policies aimed at economic reform and restoring fiscal responsibility. His presidency also saw advancements in civil service reform and the signing of the Dawes Act, which aimed to assimilate Native Americans into mainstream American society. Cleveland's tenure left an indelible mark on American politics and governance during a critical period of economic and social change. The year 1894 witnessed the outbreak of the Pullman Strike, a major labor conflict that had far-reaching consequences. The strike originated in the town of Pullman, Illinois, where the Pullman Palace Car Company manufactured luxury rail cars. Workers at the company, discontented with low wages and oppressive working conditions, organized a strike that quickly spread across the country. The strike disrupted railway traffic and brought much of the nation's transportation system to a standstill. The conflict eventually escalated to the point where the federal government intervened, with President Grover Cleveland deploying troops to quell the strike. The Pullman Strike highlighted the struggles faced by American workers and sparked a broader discussion on labor rights and the balance of power between corporations and their employees. In 1895, media mogul William Randolph Hearst made a significant acquisition by purchasing the New York Morning Journal. This purchase marked the beginning of Hearst's influential career in the newspaper industry. Known for his sensational journalism, Hearst would go on to transform the New York Morning Journal into a powerhouse publication, competing fiercely with other newspapers of the time, most notably Joseph Pulitzer's New York World. Hearst's journalistic practices, characterized by bold headlines and scandalous stories, played a role in shaping the modern era of tabloid journalism. His media empire would expand further, making him one of the most influential figures in the American media history. In 1896, the Supreme Court of the United States issued a landmark ruling in the case of Plessy versus Ferguson. This ruling solidified the doctrine of separate but equal and had a profound implication for racial segregation in the United States. The case involved Homer Plessy, an African American who challenged the Louisiana law mandating racial segregation on trains. The Supreme Court's decision by a 7-1 majority upheld the constitutionality of racial segregation, stating that as long as separate facilities were provided for different races, the principle of equality was not violated. This ruling provided legal justification for segregationist policies and remained in effect until it was effectively overturned by the Supreme Court's decision in Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, which declared that separate but equal was inherently unequal. In 1897, William McKinley assumed the presidency of the United States, becoming the 25th president. McKinley's presidency was marked by significant economic growth, with the nation experiencing a period of prosperity known as the McKinley Prosperity. Under his administration, the United States saw the expansion of its global influence through the acquisition of territories such as Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. McKinley's presidency also witnessed the outbreak of the Spanish-American War, which resulted in the United States gaining control over territories formerly belonging to Spain. Unfortunately, McKinley's second term was cut short when he was assassinated in 1901, leaving a legacy of economic prosperity and increased American involvement on the world stage. The year 1898 saw the conclusion of the Spanish-American War with the signing of the Treaty of Paris. This conflict arose from tensions between the United States and Spain over Spain's colonial possessions, particularly Cuba. The war lasted a brief 4 months but resulted in significant territorial changes. As a result of the treaties, Spain relinquished control over Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines, with the United States assuming control over these territories. The Spanish-American War marked a turning point in American history as the United States emerged as a global power and expanded its influence beyond its continental borders. In 1899, the Newsboys' Strike unfolded, an event that showcased the resilience and determination of child laborers in the face of unfair working conditions. Newsboys, often young boys working as newspaper vendors, organized a strike in major U.S. cities including New York against Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst newspapers, demanding better wages and improved working conditions. Despite facing harsh treatment from authorities and even violence, the Newsboys united in solidarity and ultimately achieved their goals. The strike drew attention to the exploitive practices of the newspaper industry and contributed to advancements in child labor laws and labor rights, serving as a significant milestone in the fight for fair working conditions for all.